So here's a video we all been waiting for. This is where we apply operations with polynomials. And we're not going to do division yet, but it could be addition, it could be subtraction, or it could be multiplication. Our first example is talking about writing a simplified expression. A polynomial is just an algebraic expression, could have multiple terms. And we're supposed to write it for the perimeter of this square. And a square has same sides all the way around. And we know that one side is 8z to the fifth minus 2z. So perimeter, you just add up all the sides. So I could just do 8z to the fifth minus 2z plus 8z to the fifth minus 2z plus 8z to the fifth minus 2z plus 8z to the fifth minus 2z and combine like terms. Or I'm going to just look at this problem here. I need 4 of these sides. So think about what we learned years ago about perimeter of a square. Take one side, multiply by 4. Here we just apply distributive property. 4 times 8z to the fifth is 32z to the fifth power. Minus 4 times 2z is 8z. They're already in order from the greatest degree, fifth degree term, to the first degree term. So this is what I would type in as my simplified answer. As always, after I tap it in, I just kind of check it out again, make sure I tapped in what I wanted, and I hit the green check. And if I get a red dot, I got to go back to my thinking and my work and think, okay, where did I make a mistake? And work backwards. Let's take a look. All right, it is nice to get those smiley faces. I don't like to turn those off. I know some people do. But again, the red dots are important because that helps you find mistakes and it helps you eliminate those mistakes for future problems. All right, enough talk. Let's go to the next problem. Determine the simplified expression that represents the area of this rectangle. We all know the area of a rectangle is length times width, or some people say base times height because every angle in a triangle is a right angle. And the base is 6x minus 1. So that is a algebraic term. We call it a binomial. And the height is 4x plus 2. So you can apply your knowledge of multiplying binomials together. So we're going to use the FOIL method, right? You multiply the first term together, and then the outside terms together, and then the inside terms together, and then the last terms together. So let's do that. So the first 6x times 4x, would be 24. X times x is x squared. Then the 6x times the 2, which gives me 12x. Then the negative 1 times 4 gives me negative 4x or minus 4x. And negative 1 times 2 is negative 2 or minus 2. Now, before I tap that in, I look to simplify. Are there any like terms? And the answer is yeah, there's like terms. I have 12x's, I have negative 4x's, which gives me positive 8x there. So my final answer, my final simplified answer, would be this. Okay, let's check it. Did I multiply correctly? Did I write down the terms correctly before I multiplied? That could be a mistake, just copying. And then did I simplify the final answer, and did I put it in standard form? I think I did. Let's check it out. Got it. All right. So this one here, figure above, may not be drawn to scale. In other words, the one side might end up actually, the shorter side might actually be the longer side. That's what they're saying, might not be drawn to scale. Write an expression for the perimeter of the figure shown above. So this is not a square, it's a rectangle. It has opposite sides, and of course, these two sides are the same length. These two sides are the same length. So basically, to find the perimeter, I need 2 of these and 2 of these added together. So I could write 2 times, 8x plus 9 added to 2 of the other side. So 2 of this, do the distributive property is 16x plus 18. Distribute over here, you have 16x minus 2. Add like terms. 16x and 16x are like terms, and the 18 and the negative 2 are numbers that can be added together. So when you combine the like terms, you get 32x and you get 16. So that should be our perimeter that goes in here. Let's test out the answer. Oh, got it right, but all of a sudden another question pops up. Write an expression for the area. So I got to find the area now of this shape. I want to find area. This was perimeter over here. For area, length times width, I just take the 8x plus 9 times the 8x minus 1, use the FOIL method. First, 64x squared. The outside to be negative 8x, yep, minus 8x. Then the 9 times 8x is 72x. And the 9 times negative 1 is negative 9 or minus 9. Combine like terms, negative 8x and a 72x is a positive 64x. So everything else can be brought down. Now I do see it's a positive there, a 64 and a 64, but x squared in the one term is not a like term with the x, so I cannot add those. So this would be what I would type in here. So let's see how we do with that one. Check. Smileys. Got it. And now some of the questions will not have a figure drawn for you already. Like this one here, it talks about a square that has this perimeter. Write a simplified expression for the side length of the square. So what I would do is I would sketch a square. And I know all the sides are going to be the same. And the perimeter, you already know, is 32g plus 32. Now, we're not using division yet. When we get to division, you can actually apply that in here, but you don't even need it. You just think to yourself, well, to find the perimeter, I just take 4 times one of the sides, the length of one of the sides, okay? So I do know the perimeter, so I put that in where the P is, 32g plus 32 equals 4, but I don't know the length, so here's what I do a little thinking. 4 times what would give me 32g? And that would be 8g. Right, that would give me the first term. 4 times what would give me the 32? That would be an 8. And since this is addition, I know it has to be positive. So this is my missing side. 8g plus 8. All the sides are 8g plus 8. You have 4 of those. You have 32g plus a 32, which is what my perimeter should be. So I'm pretty sure, pretty confident, that when I type this in here, that missing side will be correct. So this is a great example of having to apply things from years past to what we've been working with this year. Let's see what we got here. Now keep in mind, you might have problems with triangles too. The problems I've gotten so far have all been rectangles or squares, perimeters and areas. And just want you to remember, when you have a triangle, the triangle area formula, which you could easily Google, is 1/2 base times height, or you might see it as written as base times height divided by 2, because a triangle area is just half of a rectangle area. Now the height always has to be at a right angle, so you have to remember that also. Okay? So I'm going to do this problem real quick, get that done, and see if I can get to a problem with the triangle. Let me just briefly explain. So I used multiplication, I used distributive property, then I did like terms. Over here you can see I got 72x squared and 45x squared, combined them, and that's where I typed in 117x squared, did the same thing with the x's. What was nice about this problem, there's no negatives, didn't have to worry about messing that up. So let's see how I did. Guess I need to hit my right tool. So there's a mistake in this. I got to go back and find the mistake, and then I'll be back and I'll tell you about it. Oh my, this is kind of funny, but look what I did. And some of you are probably screaming at me through the computer. This is 9x plus 6, and I put 9x plus 5. I just was copying so fast, I put the plus 5 where the plus 6 should be, so that just blew up. All my work was correct, but I used the wrong side. I should have had a 6 here. Let me fix that. So how did I figure that out? I spent a couple minutes going through all my math, my multiplication, my additions, and I couldn't figure out a mistake there. So I went back even further and said, do I have the right expressions down? And that's when I saw it. The 6 was written as a 5. Let's see if I got this right now. Okay. Did I get a triangle problem? Nope. All right, so if you get a triangle problem, make sure you use the right formula for that. Remember, perimeter of a triangle, same as perimeter of any shape. Just add all the sides. Good luck.